Well, hello there, it's Ina here, and welcome to my art room. So, what I have here is an old empty book cover. It has a 2-inch spine and a nice canvas cover. I, of course, took all the pages out and I covered the spine by just using the original inside papers. This gives me a nice clean start. Now, I prepared this cover like this over a year ago, and then it was just laying around waiting for some kind of idea of what to do with it. So today is the day I want to work on it. And so I start by gluing down some cardboard strips with my tacky glue to start decorating the cover. Now, the different steps I use to do so are a bit repetitious, so I will show you very clearly how it works and what I do, but then I will forward towards the next major step. I will be back talking to you as soon as the basic layers are done on this cover. So I took 3 very simple steps to create some texture here on my book cover, and now I use my white gesso to cover up the crumpled bits and pieces of tissue paper. Now, as soon as this middle section is really dry, I will start painting first with some acrylic paints, but then also with glimmer mist and alcohol inks. I want to create a very warm color, red, orange, yellow type centerpiece here. Now, when I originally prepared this cover, I had thought about creating a journal of some type. But at this point, I changed my mind, mainly because the spine is 2-inch, so rather large, and I just wasn't in the mood for any type of paper crafting. And many times that's the way it is. I do change my plan halfway through a project. Sometimes you just get a better feel of what would work out best when you start working on it. So plans are good, but I often don't follow them. And as an artist, we have the freedom to change our minds anytime we want and take our project in a different direction. And that's a good thing. Here I use some clear alcohol just to blend out the inks a bit. You can buy some proper ink blenders, but for this particular substrate, the alcohol works just as well. Here I use a triple gloss, and it helps me seal in the colors and gives me a bit of a shine. Now, because when this is done, I want it to be able to stand up just like any book, I want the cover not to be overly dimensional. That way it doesn't snag on any books that might be placed next to it. So as you see here, another very simple step. I am just covering all the rest of the cover with my black gesso. I have to start with a smaller brush to get the edges done, and then I will finish it up with a larger brush. Again, a very repetitious and simple step to finish up this cover. So this and anything else I do to construct the box will be very easy for you to follow. I will, like always, add my mediums into the captions for you, and I will talk to you towards the end, and then I will have a little reveal and something special for you. So please watch all the way through, enjoy the process, and I will talk to you in just a wee bit. I'm done and my project is completed, and I showed you all the steps I took in order to turn the old book cover into a book box, and I'm very happy with the way it looks. I love the contrast of the bright color here in the middle and the black. I love the texture of the tissue paper. I also like the way the waxes brought out the texture on this part in such a subtle way. I purposely did not use too much embellishments, just a few simple pieces. This kind of rustic, simple look was definitely what I was going for. I also added a little texture here on the top and the side pieces. I purposely did not make this look like pages or paper like many other book boxes do. I just didn't find it necessary. Here in the back I added a charm. It's attached with a hook you find on necklaces. I used some chain and added a key with a little gear right here. Then there is a bigger gear with a nice design, and then this little earring here with dangles and little black stones. And I picked this one because the black stones are very similar to the ones in here in this little keyhole jewelry piece. Now, in order for this box to come out strong and sturdy, I used very thick cardboard for the sides, and I did measure them carefully. Usually I don't like to measure anything, and I'm glad that most of my projects don't call for measurements, but in this case using a ruler is a good idea. You want these pieces to be straight and snug, you want them to line up on the top and on the bottom, and especially this part should fit really well so it doesn't come out or fall out unless you take it out. So, and that brings me to the inside, and here is where I have a little surprise for you. You recall that there was a big empty space in here, and of course I wanted to fill it. But before I show it to you one more time, the back and the sides of this part, I love this craft paper. It just fits so perfectly to this project. So here's what I did to the inside. I created a couple of shelves, little bookshelves or shelves for knickknacks. And one reason I didn't show you the process, it's because there was really no craftsmanship involved here. I only glued things down. So I first put the little shelf in, and I colored it and textured it just the same way I did this part on the cover. Then I added some little books. These are just pieces of wood, and I glued some canvas all around it very, very simply. Then here are 3 tiny bottles with little beads in them, different colors. There is a little toy dragon, and there is a little skull behind him, and then the back wall has some gears as well. And then down here on the bottom we have more beads, some long paper beads in the back, another dragon. We have a telescope, some cabochons, we have a light bulb, a wooden vase, 2 pieces from a chess game, and then the back again has some gears, but also a little emblem, I hope you can see it, there we go, of a soldier in a helmet from a long time ago, and a little frame with a vintage picture of a lady. Now I picked all these pieces, first of all because they had the right size, but also most of them came in the right colors, meaning sticking with the warm colors I started with. Even these dragons, one was red and one was orange, but they looked very plastic, so I added some black gesso to them, rubbed it off again, and then used some rub and buff to make them look a bit more metal and a bit more like figurines. And I think they look pretty cool, and I think they fit nicely to these colors and the overall look of the book. And now, of course, we get to the bottom box here. And yes, it still has a magnetic closure. And this box was just a lucky find. It happened to be the right size. But even without it, I could have created just one big box. I could have filled them up with more shelves. There are so many different possibilities. Anyway, this box of course, is for other keepsakes, and I didn't want to keep it completely empty. So I created this little booklet here, and it's put together very, very simply. It has orange seam bind closure, it has a canvas cover, a little bit of book tape for the spine. This piece is just printed on canvas, a couple of gears, bit of orange to keep with the color theme, and I distressed the canvas with my inks, ink pads, yeah. So here it is, and the cover has a bit of cardboard in it to make it a little sturdy, but the spine is soft, and the reason for that is because the inside is just made from craft paper glued together. There is no sewing involved, no stitching, and in order for this book to function and to open properly, it has to have a soft spine. Now, the way to put this together, it's super simple. I can show you really quick. I just took some craft paper, and the nice side is folded to the inside. And then you just glue them on top of each other, lining up the spines. And I usually just put glue on the edges. And you can add as many papers as you want and make your book as thick as you want. Takes a little time, but it's very, very simple. And these pages all have a bit of a vintage flair. They can be written on, drawn on, painted on. You can glue things to it, whatever you like. This was just a very quick and simple way to create a little booklet. So here it is. We put the little page finder inside. Close it up again. Come on. And it goes back in the box. Of course, whoever will get this book box in the future could also take this out and use the full space here to keep some keepsake. But the whole thing could be displayed nicely in this manner with a little book right here, and I will show you some photos of what this looks like. So this is my project. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas. And I'm so glad you came and visited with me today. I hope I get to see you really soon again. I will be back latest by next Friday. Stay well, stay creative, and bye-bye for now.